beautiful souls. Convenient timing. Oh, makes me giggle a little. So I haven't done a live on Facebook for quite some time. I've been directed by my divine guidance to mostly share through YouTube and other platforms with video content, but I'm feeling, whether or not this is divinely guided, I want to share where I'm at in my own dropping down of understanding and to how profound the mind control is on our planet. Basically, I have spent, I started connecting to higher ineffable intelligence named Coyotes. It's, whether or not you want to call it the Galactic Federation of Light, is probably how most people would interpret it. Basically high levels of frequency and vibration that I'm able to alter my state of consciousness to a place where I can read these energies and transcribe it into the spoken word. I've been directed to write a book. It's called Transcendence to the Truth. It's about 120,000 words, and I'm 30,000 words in, and it is completely shifting my own internal reality. Although I've been aware for a very long time that our stories of the mind create our suffering, and when we inquire the mind, we are able to unlock ourselves into a state of freedom. Come here. Come here. Water baby. Freedom and peace. I think even the concept for me of how much our minds are controlled to keep us in a form of disconnection from the present moment, and in the present moment is the moment that we feel creation and life force. If we are not in presence, we are actually in some form of separation and disconnection. So if you look and reflect on your own personal experience in life, how often are you in some form of disconnect? And that's a scary thought for many, because a lot of people are suffering anxiety, depression. If you're in fear, even if you're in a state of thinking about future possibilities, to the point of telling a story around what's ahead for you. If you're goal setting, so something for me hasn't aligned is setting goals. I have a foggy vision, and I have extremely expanded awareness as to what's going to possibly take place in the timelines ahead. But the future, our future is undetermined, and we have the ability to shift and change that in every single moment. It's also a reason I don't do psychic readings or mediumship or anything like that, because you can come and get a reading at one place and time, and your energetic frequency and your energy blueprint will read a specific way, and you can share what may happen in the future. But that's if you continue on that trajectory. And the thing is that most of us are in a space where the timelines are shifting all of the time. People that have seen future, like people that have had premonitions, they are actually getting less and less premonitions because the timelines are changing so much. Energetically, if you came and got a reading one day and then made one choice that was profoundly different to your mind's programs, and came and got a reading the next day, they would be completely different, because you've completely changed your neural pathways in your brain, and your consciousness and your mind is going to start running from a whole new perspective. And once you change one program that's been running, then you have the possibility to shift it and open up neural pathways that fire in all different directions. And when you are able to start firing in different ways, you're actually able to start to have a really truly open mind. You're able to really truly start to see your experience. You're able to see yourself in more clarity and actually be able to be the observer and be in presence. In presence, separation dissolves. When you're truly present, the stories stop. So if you're choosing presence, then there are no stories. The stories are what is creating the chaos, separation, discomfort, and perceived spiritual war. The stories of our mind are so integrated into everything that we do. The stories in spirituality, the stories in religion, the stories in our collective consciousness, the stories in the songs that we listen to, the TV, the stories that we tell ourselves every day, the stories that we repeat over and over when we're sharing our experiences with others. You're only reconfirming these same programs and belief systems over and over and over again. And the more that you ingrain that, these stories and this collective idea of fear and anxiety and wrongness and rightness and the ideas of polarity, the ideas of the masculine and feminine, the ideas of every possible thing that you can think of have been running for millions of years. So it's not only this lifetime's experience that you're trying to break the conditioning of your childhood experience, you're trying to break the belief systems that you're not lovable, you're unworthy, your fear of rejection, abandonment. There's also all of the stories that you've attached to that have been running here on Earth for millions of years. Literally. This is where to truly come into a full integration of union with self and with Creator, and to see others as no separation, to truly see others as of you, to take one as of yourself, you have to totally step out of the collective consciousness. You can't even partake in it. You have to release it and come into unified, universal mind. That is scary. That's a scary place to be because it's so unfamiliar. And it means identifying your own stories and realizing when you're stepping back into the identity that you've created, the identity that's based on a false narrative. What came through for me this morning, I have been playing into my own narrative. My own narrative has been resistance to sitting down, and I've been communicated and directed specifically by my own divine guidance to spend 4 hours channeling, whether that is, or I don't like to use the word channeling, there's already preconceived ideas of what channeling is. Channeling's like channeling a being, or there's a lot of negative connotations around what that is, and it's dangerous because you might not be getting truth. And all of those, there's truth in all of that, which is why when I speak from now, I'm trying to use words that haven't already got stories and narratives, so that they can be heard and received in openness to trigger the remembering within. And so I transcribe, and that's literally what I'm doing. I'm transcribing energies, frequency and vibration into the spoken word that can be understood in our 3D dense reality. But for me, 4 hours of doing that is an intense amount on my physical representation as a being. I have to alter my state of consciousness so far that I let go of my identity completely. So it's like I basically split my level of consciousness and it moves over. It's like I step out of self and allow free flow of energy to come through me. Which I suppose in truth is when I completely release my identity, I will just be in that free flow of energy. So maybe that's just who I really am. But that level of concentration, because that's not where my consciousness level is naturally at this point in time, is a lot of energy. And I have a lot of resistance coming up to actually doing it. It's too much work. I'm too tired. I just don't want to. Really, that's the story. I don't want to do it. My story is I don't want to do this, but I know I have to, right? So this is the conflict that we have internally when we know something to be true. We know here in our spirit, in our soul, in our heart, I know this relationship is not serving me at my highest good. But I'm too scared to leave. What if they change? What if I'm seeing things wrong? What if I did this? Da 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 da. The story. The conflict. The resistance. The resistance is the story that is pulling you away from what's really true. What is true for you in this moment? What is true for me is I know that I have to step into this. I know that this is a part of my life's purpose. I know this is why I moved 10 hours away from my children, because I have no option. And when I get to a point where you truly see that some things are completely set out by the divine and you have absolutely no choice. The only choice you have is to let go of the thoughts created and the resistance around it. Are you going to surrender into it? Are you going to continue the suffering and the resistance? So fear was what I connected in with this morning. And the concept of fear is something that I've personally looked at many, many times and have moved through within myself around, is fear just a concept of the mind? Do we need fear? Okay, so there's a lot of people that say fear is necessary. We need fear, because if we didn't have fear and we didn't have a fight, flight, freeze response, we'd get eaten by the tiger. We would get eaten by the tiger. And I suppose I haven't really sat in what I've come to be true for me. I just know that every time I bring up fear, I have to usually do it anyway. I have to move through the fear with some sort of curiosity, excitement, or willingness. Willingness to be in the discomfort of the unknown. Willingness to move through the false thoughts. Willingness to move through the blocks. The willingness to see the stories that have created the suffering. That's the real fear. The fear is seeing all of the stuff that we go into denial and distraction about that keeps us separated from here. So when I dropped in and I shifted and I connected into Coyotes, the main message that came through, will be put into the book, is that fear is a concept of the mind. Fear is a false reality. Fear is not something that we require to live in safety in this reality. Fear doesn't protect. Fear only creates more to be fearful of. So the concept of the tiger actually came through, and the story was, if we don't have fear, then we won't be able to protect ourselves. We won't be on edge. We won't be able to notice what is dangerous. We won't have that primal instinct to look after ourselves, our family, and do what we need to have done. So fear is necessary. Well, maybe not. Maybe the perspective that's there is that fear continues the separation from source. While we are seeking and looking for what to be fearful of, we continue to come away from our true, authentic nature. We continue to disconnect. And the addiction cycle of what we all have as humans on this earth is not drugs, alcohol, relationships, sex, porn, overthinking, work. The addiction that we have is to separation. That's the only real addiction. One. We all have one addiction. Every single human on this planet. Doesn't matter how it looks in the external reality or how it shows up for you. The addiction is separation from self. The addiction is to pain. You have an addiction to disconnection from Creator, Source, God. And the recognition of how addicted you are to being outside of yourself. And so fear continues that. Fear continues that idea. Whereas in truth, if we let go of the concept that we need fear, we would only have awareness. We would have presence. We would have connection. When you are connected to Creator and life, allowing life to unfold and be there and guide you and show you in every little piece that it speaks, then life tells you when there's something that may not be on the same space as you. It will pre-warn you to not go down this road because there might be a hungry tiger, but to turn right down this way and follow that path instead. When you're in presence and connection, everything speaks to you. Everything is guiding you with love. Life only wants you to be abundant, loved, joyful, connected, and have ease. Life is always trying to serve you at its highest, your highest. So the other idea around that is if there was no fear, you'd just be in love and connection and union. So if you're in that place, then maybe the tiger wouldn't even eat you. Maybe the tiger would actually want to be in life with you because it has already eaten its meal for the day and it sees your energetic frequency and vibration as one with nature. And when you're one with nature, then there's no threat. Fear in itself, for me, is just another false idea that we hold on to keep us stuck. Just like every single story that we have going through our mind. So I suppose my share this morning is, what stories are you running and how are they really affecting you? Are you in the present moment? Do you even know how to be present? And sit with that. And sit with what comes up. Sit with all of the discomfort. Sit with all of the ickiness of, I don't even know how to be present. I don't even know how to be connected. Because just in that awareness, it gives you an opportunity to choose different. I love you. Have a beautiful day. If you like or resonate to my content, please like, share, call to action. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, YouTube, TikTok, and support the truth coming into what's really available for us. I love you.